Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV with the Rude Man. In this episode, we need to find the heretics. So let's find out what happened to this unit, third unit Brave, Crystal Brave. Balls. My ankle is on fire. I caught my boot on a rock or something and twisted it as I fell. The others went on ahead, though, through Danif Pass. Hurry and you might catch up. If you aren't sure where to go, look for the tracks. This snow is fresh, so they shouldn't be hard to find. Okay, that means they're probably like glittering. So, yeah. We're supposed to go that way somehow. Really? Really? I don't see any tracks. Alright, there we go. I guess it's a good thing they are sparkling ones, otherwise we'd never seen them. Tracks lead southwest, or southeast. Southeast, I guess. Okay, well, let's catch up. There's another Crystal Brave. Scion, what are you doing here? The heretics? Well, I'm not sure. There was a great scaled beast and... What? I think he went east on his own. The heretics split up, so we did too. Well, this guy doesn't seem to know anything. He's just standing out here in the snow. Unsure of him, what he's supposed to even be doing here. Of course, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing here either. Alright, it looks like we've got somebody down. Right, Carbuncle, a little help here. Never mind. How embarrassing. I was so intent on following the heretics' tracks that I almost failed to notice that they had doubled back. Almost, mind you. One tried to sneak up behind me and got a knife in the gut for his trouble. I thought myself alone, so I started searching the dead man's knapsack for anything of interest. And lo and behold, before his friends found me, I came up with this. Withdraw in groups of 3 or less to the observatorium. Give the signal and wait. The merchant will be watching. Be late and be left for dead. Speaks for itself, does it not? They can't possibly mean to rendezvous inside the place, so we should restrict our search to the surrounding area. Let me rephrase that. You should restrict your search to the wilderness around the observatorium. I will need more than a moment's rest to recover from these wounds. Okay. Hey, that's on our hunt list right there. Let's get it. Ew, he slimed me. Okay, so there must be more of them. There's another one. Alright, there we got it. Alright, you only need to get 2 of them yet. Right, let's head back that way. I'm through with listening to your excuses. We leave now. How? The woods are crawling with these blue coats, and the knights are searching every wagon that passes through the gates. Well, stay with him then, if you think you'll fare any better. Ha ha, gotcha. Now, there's no need for that. There are places like this in my homeland, sacred snow-capped peaks where blood must not be shed. Yet your lands ever thirst for blood of the fallen, and by your deeds it has drunk deep. No, I have done no wrong. None but meet in secret with heretics. Deny it all if you will, but we shall have the truth from you yet. Inquisitors are not the only ones skilled in the art of interrogation. Damn it all. Oh, woe is me. Fancy meeting you here, Roland. I presume your work with the Third brought you hither? Hither and yon. What a tangled web, lest you wonder, we came not for the heretics, but for the merchant who has been conspiring with them. He came to our attention during the course of our investigation into the Ivy. It beggars belief, I know, but it seems our favorite Garlean spy may have been providing assistance to Iceheart. Were it not for the efforts of Lady Yuguri and her shinobi, we might never have discovered this connection. Master Alphinaud is too kind. I fear my people and I have done little to aid your search for this spy. We long to strike back against the Empire and weaken their influence in this land, to prevent the tragedy which befell Doma from reoccurring. The days ahead and the work they promise will require a very particular set of skills with which I am fortunate enough to possess. If you allow it, I would accompany you until the investigation is complete. That is most generous offer, Lady Yuguri, and one which I shall gladly accept. Thank you. Though I may disappear from time to time, know that I shall never be far and shall always be watching. A comforting thought. Come, Roland, let us wait inside for Captain Ilbrid to return and deliver his report. You ever get the feeling that we're just a slave and that he thinks he's the master? Little turd. What is he, 16? So they're working on the game quite a little bit, and they've announced that they're going to try to make the game, after all these years, a little friendlier for solo players. As you know, at times when we get into the boss fights, I have to go and search for 3 to, or more players to go into a dungeon and or a raid. Dungeon, it takes 4 people. With a raid, it's generally 8. There's a few raids that are bigger than that. Up to like 25, I think it is, or 24, something like that. There's a few of those, but they're dealing with those as well. And then there's also the boss fights. Now, the difference between a dungeon is you take 4 people and you start at the start of the dungeon. You work your way up to a couple of mini bosses, usually about 3 mini bosses, until you get to a main boss. You defeat him, and then you're done with the dungeon. The other one is a trial, and a trial is you get your 4 to 8 people, and well, it's usually 8 people. You get your 8 people, and you go in, and you fight just one main boss. So like Titan, Leviathan, those kind of fights. So what they're doing is right now in the later game, you can actually take the people that you're in the game with, your NPCs that you're working with, like Alphanod here, and you can pick which ones you want to go with you, and you don't have to go get real people to play with. If you want to solo the game, you're able to just pick 4 NPCs to go, well, 3, because you'd be the 4th person, and you would go in and fight with NPCs instead of with real people. Now they've got that in the end game, like I say. It starts with Shadowbringers, and it's kind of nice if you want to solo the game. So it's going to make it a lot easier for people that just want to play the game, do the story, and not have to sit and wait for 3 other people to come in that you don't know normally, unless you've got a large group that you're in. Anyway, it'll be kind of interesting. Captain Ilberd seemed confident that the merchant's resolve would swiftly crumble when pressed. If so, we should have new information ere long. As to whether it will bring us any closer to learning that Ivy's identity, I would rather not say. Given our adversary's cunning, I shall consider us fortunate if we were spared another wild dodo chase. The gods know we have more than enough to occupy our time as it is. Captain Ilberd, your report, if you will. Aye, Commander. Firstly, with regard to the heretic we captured, I regret to say that the man could tell us naught that we did not already know. We have since handed him over to the Asgardian authorities. Henceforth, the Holy See will pursue the matter independently. Our inquiries concerning the Ivy, however, have proven more fruitful. We have ascertained the channel by which the heretics acquired their information on the shipment routes. Go on. You'll recall the flame we first identified as being the Ivy's employ. From him, we were able to trace a trail of conspirators, each taking us closer to his master. Alas, the trail came to an abrupt end. Fearing that the investigation had been compromised, we took the necessary step of detaining all suspect of conspiracy. They were 5 on our list, including the flame stationed at Reverence Toll. The man's primary duty was to keep an inventory of donations from abroad, the particulars of which we would share with benefactors, thereby ensuring that needs did not go unfulfilled. By virtue of his role, he was privy to the details of all shipments bound for the settlement. Needless to say, that included those originating from House Fortemps. He knew the precise route the caravans would take, and he sold that information to a merchant. I think I can guess which one. None other. With a little encouragement, he soon confessed to knowingly aiding and abetting the heretics. Well, that's one mystery solved, at least. But what of the Ivy? Are we any closer to prizing off his mask? I dare say we are, Commander. Our relentless pursuit has forced him to commit a grave error. In a desperate bid to cover his tracks, the Ivy resorted to exercising certain administrative powers available only to high-ranking members of the Immortal Flames. If you consider then that our investigation is known to barely a handful of them, the field of suspects is greatly narrowed. You mean to say that the agent is among Robon's innermost circle? Someone who has been with him since the Immortal Flames establishment? Tis a most plausible explanation. The infiltration likely occurred during the company's founding, with the groundwork for the act being laid beforehand. To slip into a position of authority unremarked and remain above suspicion for all these years? Aye, I too was surprised, though I really should not have been. Of the three grand companies, Ulda was ever the more vulnerable to infiltration. Both Limsa and Gridania had long-standing armed forces that lent themselves well to the formation of the Maelstrom and the Order of the Twin Adder. To all intents and purposes, it was the same people, loyal ones, mind you, under the same leadership, only the banner was different. Not so the Flames. Ulda's military was made up of disparate orders, most of which were glorified mercenary companies that answered only to their own paymasters. Hardly an ideal environment in which to establish something as high-minded as a grand company. The difficulties Rabban faced when founding the Immortal Flames are well known. Even after he had convinced his fellow syndicate members to share the cost, there remained the small matter of finding enough bodies to fill the ranks. Indeed, and given the pressing nature of the Imperial threat, that meant recruiting every passing sellsword. Amidst the chaos of its founding, it would have been a child's play to infiltrate the company. A good deal easier than that, even. The Immortal Flames have ever been caught between conflicting interests, the public and the private. Though the monetarists ultimately agreed to support the organization's founding, 'twas not out of charity that they did so, but simply self-preservation. Had Nail Van Darnus's ambitions been any less apocalyptic, you may be sure that they would never have risked supplying Robon with an army. 'Tis but a wonder that they did not attempt to extinguish the flames the moment the danger had passed. Well, returning to the present, even as we speak, our Doman allies are shadowing several high-ranking flames, any one of whom could be the Ivy. Desiring to deal a blow against the Empire, the refugees were eager to lend us their aid. I expect to hear from them ere long. Very good. Pray continue your investigation with the first. Meanwhile, have the second attend to the unrest. The third can join the fourth in inspecting crystal shipments. If they notice anything unusual, I want to know about it. If Shiva is summoned in like a manner to the other primals, the heretics will be looking for further supplies. Understood, Commander. I shall send word to Sir Emmerich, informing him of our success in identifying the heretics' abettors. Hopefully the information will be of some use to the Ishgardians. It's time, Commander. Yes, I am aware. An emergency council of the Alliance leadership has been called. There have been developments in Garlemond. As commander of the Crystal Braves, my presence has been requested. I would have you accompany me, Roland, as the realm's stoutest champion. 'Tis only meet that you be present for the discussion. Oh, and the antecedent has already given her consent. Lest you worry. I wasn't worried. Like me, you are doubtless eager to conclude our business with Iceheart, but until another path to her sanctum is found, she will remain beyond our reach. Minfilia and the Archons are sparing no effort to secure an alternate route. Until such time as they succeed, I suggest we give some thought to the realm's other problems. I shall go on ahead to Gudanya in readiness for the upcoming council. Meet me at the altar and we shall make our way to the lotus stand together. That always sounds like it's got a hidden meaning to me. Meet me at the altar and we'll go to the lotus stand. Oh, jeez. All right, well, we're going to head that way anyway. Wrong one. My thanks for coming, Roland. When you're ready, speak with the conjurer yonder. She will show us to the lotus stand. Alrighty.
Change has come to the Garlean Empire, and we must discuss the implications.
The rumors are true, then? The War of Succession is ended?
It is. A new emperor reigns in Garlemald.
Who?
So dramatic.
The birth and all too rapid expansion of the Garlean Empire is commonly attributed to the strategic brilliance of Solus Zosgalvis, yet he did not rule alone. Several members of the royal household also distinguished themselves during his reign. Nevertheless, it was the eldest son who stood to inherit the throne, until his most untimely passing.
I thought us fortunate when I learned that the Emperor had died without naming a successor.
Would that the Garlean Empire had died with him.
'Twas the grandson and his uncle who had the strongest claims, was it not?
Indeed, yet claims count for little without the power to assert them. High Legatus Varus Galvus is a respected military leader. Not so his uncle.
So young Varus has torn the crown from his uncle's grasp and taken his place at the head of the Empire.
Given the troubled nature of his succession, the new emperor will require time to seal his grip on power. Yet have no doubt but that he shall, for there are none left with strength enough to oppose him.
Since the success of Operation Archon, the remnants of the 14th Legion and the forces occupying Alamigo have done naught but fortify their positions. But you can be sure they'll be ready to march on us again, if their Emperor gives the word.
When, not if. They say this Varus was so set upon Eorzean annexation that he spoke out against the Meteor Project.
Plainly, the new emperor's intentions are of great concern to us all. I propose that we set aside the Cartno dispute for the present, and discuss what measures the Alliance might take to prepare for a resumption of hostilities with Garlemald. Moreover, I move that we re-examine the question of how our former allies in Ishgard might be persuaded to retake their place at our side. Could Eorzea but stand as one, 'twould deal a grave blow to our enemies' ambitions.
Well, I suppose we should be grateful that they have finally acknowledged the inevitability of Imperial attack. Who knows? They may even do something about it. If only the leaders of Ishgard would follow their example and stop hiding behind their gates, praying for the coming storm to pass them by. But that is a discussion for another time. At present, I am more concerned by the fact that the Alliance's mooted preparations will be made known to the Garleans many moons before their coming. So long as the ivy eludes our grasp, no secret is safe.
Politics and secrets. It's not going to be... it will not have escaped your notice that the nations of Eorzea are no near to being of one purpose, despite their protestations to the contrary. Plainly, the threat of a resurgent Garlemald is not enough to stir them. And the reason for this, well, it's deep-rooted mistrust against the citizenry. The nation's leaders can come to all the understandings they like, but their unity means little and less to the common folk. Take the Laminsons, for instance. Though the Admiral outlawed piracy over a decade ago, foreigners still picture the nation as a haven for grog-swilling, wood-legged cutthroats. In like wise, the Gridanians are mocked to hermits who talk to trees, and the Ulden scorned as swindlers who worship coin. Not that such sentiments are entirely without grounds, of course, but take that pillar of Ulden society, Adeleji, for example. But that is beside the point. The fact is that people are wary of outsiders, whether they have cause to be or not. On that basis, one could argue that the conflict at Cartno is a necessary evil. Each nation has its own warmongering faction that advocates the acquisition of Omega. In order to placate them, we present them something resembling warfare, and thereby curb their appetite for full-scale conflict. But enough idle musing. Let us speak of more pressing matter, the ivy. Since we spoke at the observatorium, Captain Ilberd has further shortened his list of suspects, and by happy coincidence, the one he deems the most likely candidate is lately come to Gridania. The hunt nears to an end, Roland. All that remains is to corner our quarry. Seek out Ilberd near the Adder's Nest, and he'll give you the particulars. Should there be any developments in Carthus, you may be sure that I will send word without delay. In the meantime, I wish you success in apprehending the ivy. My thanks for coming, Scion. Doubtless the commander has informed you, but we have unmasked the ivy. From this point on, we must proceed with extreme caution. Listen well. The spy we have been seeking all this time is none other than Flame Marshal Eileen Roel, Raban's second in command. Prior to joining the Immortal Flames, she was a mercenary of no small renown. They say her skill with the pole arm had to be seen to be believed. Of Ishgardian birth, she's the highest ranked foreigner in the Immortal Flames, barring the Flame General himself, of course. When he formed the Grand Company, Raban chose people based on their worth. Whence they hailed was of no interest. The monetarists say things differently, however, have funded the enterprise. They reserved the right to reject candidates nominated for high-ranking positions. And 'twas no secret that they did not favor foreigners, Ishgardians especially, after the way the Holy See forsook their alliance. Yet the monetarists did not raise so much as a murmur of protest when she was appointed to her post. Passing strange, is it not? Could it be that Ivy has some hold over the monetarists? But these revelations are secondary to our current mission. Of foremost interest to us is Rosael's presence here now. As you may be aware, it is the duty of the Flame Marshal to command Immortal Flames in the absence of the Flame General. While Raban attended the Council of Alliance leaders, she should have remained in the Hall of Flames. The woman is no business being in Gridania, yet here she is nonetheless. On some pretense, she is up to something, mark my words. Even as we speak, I have a dozen men trawling the Flames records for the evidence of her guilt. But if we can catch her red-handed, we shall have all the proof we need. Which brings me to the plan. I have people watching the city gates, the airship landing, and the docks, every point of egress. She cannot leave without our knowledge. All that remains is to shadow her until she betrays her own purpose. Can I rely upon your eyes, Scion? You have my thanks. Let's go, and take care not to alert our quarry. Well, the intrigue is just mounting, isn't it? Of spies and politicians. Sometimes hard to tell the difference. Royale is headed in the direction of the Blue Badger Gate. With me, Scion. So she's entered the Carline Canopy, meeting someone, perchance. Or could it be she means to board an airship? Pray look for her within. If she's not on the upper floor, try the landing area below. One of mine is stationed there, and she may have seen something. I shall remain here in case Royale appears. All right, nobody here. Let's go downstairs. Not here either. Roland Painter, such an unexpected pleasure. What brings you here? A social visit, you say? How pleasant. No, she didn't come this way. I've noted every passenger, and none bore any resemblance. Well, don't let me keep you. She must have been whispering to me. All right, so she isn't here. Where'd she go? Gilbert says she entered here. What if she went out here? The only way to get out of this area is to be boarding a ship, I think. Nowhere to be seen, you say? And you're sure she did not board an airship? She didn't come back out here either. Where in the seven hells could she have gone? The roost. How could I forget? Greetings, good sir. Might I interest you in some Moontai tonic? A cup a day imbibes a man with great vigor, if you take my meaning. Perhaps another time, friend. Wait, that necklace. You're a shinobi. The woman you seek has left Gredonia by way of West Shore Pier. She was attired as a merchant, but these eyes are not so easily deceived. You may wish to take your search to the East Shroud. Rest assured that we shall continue to support you from the shadows. Thank the 12 for the Domans. Were it not for their unique talents, Royale would have disappeared without a trace. Well, since we're here at the inn, I think I'm going to take a break here and we'll carry on the next episode. Hope you had fun. Hope to see you there. Ta-ta for now.